mid-range.
Golgari mid-range. That's, yeah, sure.
Our players will be given the green light here, and we will be underway as Jonathan Orr and Tariq Patel begin things with an island and a Serum Vision.
Are you sure that Orr's deck is mid-range, or is it neither fast nor slow?
That's
right. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean.
Can we
you
fit
laugh,
that up
but
there?
no one's confused. Golgari, and in quotes, neither fast nor slow, with each word hyphenated.
Here is Inquisition of Kozilek. 2 surgical extractions, 2 ops, a crackling drake, and an island.
Great news for Orr. The surgical extractions don't do a whole lot in this kind of matchup. We're way far away from having to worry about a crackling drake. You can be pretty aggressive here in tagging the instance and try to strand Patel with a hand that doesn't really work.
Opt is the selection. Let's go back over to Tariq now, who, it's like he knew it was there. Another Serum Visions. Scry 2 once again after drawing a card. Found the red source, Steam Vents in hand now. And we're going to see what the scry is going to be. Tariq's still thinking about this a little bit here. It looks like top. Steam Vents tapped, pass the turn back. So we're going to head back Jonathan Orr's way now. He will draw a card. That's a forest, and Dark Confidant is the threat.
And Orr knew no lightning bolt in the hand previously. That Steam Vents was one of the draw steps, so Patel with not a whole lot of windows so far to have drawn an answer to Dark Confidant.
Opt will resolve. Now here's Thought Scour, target himself. Thought Scour and Lightning Axe go to the graveyard, draw a card. May have been a Pyromancer's Ascension.
Yes.
Tariq playing 3 main deck copies of that card this weekend.
So it's great in the mirror, and winning the mirror has looked like a good priority to have this weekend.
Maybe that's the thing we need to be doing here in Philadelphia, as Dark Confidant's going to reveal a card. It's going to be a copy of Fatal Push. And now, Orr will draw for turn. Confidant will be attacking here momentarily, I'm sure. Now, it looks like in the draw step, it's going to be a surgical extraction. Taking Inquisition of Kozilek. So, the hand here for Orr is a Tarmogoyf for Dark Confidant, a Fatal Push, a Kalidas, a Field of Ruin, and it looks like maybe a Hissing Quagmire.
Yeah, I mean, gotta do something with the surgical extraction. The information is helpful to have, and looks like he ended up hitting. Three of those. You don't need to look twice. You found the 3.
There are no more, because there never are anymore.
Yeah, there are never 4. Just the 3.
Well, surgical extraction is done extracting. Or we'll shuffle, present. I'm sure Tariq will shuffle and or cut, and then we'll be underway here in Jonathan's 3rd main phase of the game. And we'll get that attack with Dark Confidant eventually, I promise. Let's see who doesn't want to deal 2 points of damage for some obscure reason. Remember, Tariq right now does have a copy of Crackling Drake in hand, but has not found an answer to Dark Confidant just yet.
Nor can really safely deploy the Crackling Drake. I mean, I suppose you always get your card or whatever, because the combination of Field of Ruin plus Fatal Push is an answer in Orr's hand. So I wouldn't be surprised next turn for Patel to try to move to Pyromancer's Ascension, especially with Orr having no answer in hand.
It'll be a copy of Tarmogoyf this time. We'll be heading over to Tariq Patel right now. Pyromancer Ascension in hand, picked up a copy of Steam Vents as the draw step.
Two-headed giants, sealed spectacular players. Your pairings
Well, there's Pyromancer's Ascension.
are being posted at the gathering point. Two-headed giant players.
Now there's an opt, and since there's already one in the graveyard, the Ascension will get a counter.
Remember that Patel also with the second copy of Surgical Extraction still in hand, so that's number 2.
This is not a hard card for this deck to turn on at all. Steam Vents one into the battlefield tapped, and we're going to head back over to Jonathan Orr, who will trigger the Dark Confidant. Top card is a Forest. Now draw for his normal draw step. One thing to keep in mind, I think there's actually 4 copies of Assassin's Trophy.
And a Maelstrom Pulse.
Yeah. So there are ways to kill enchantments and various other permanents in Orr's deck. He will sacrifice this Verdant Catacombs and get a swamp. Tarmogoyf and Dark Confidant are going to come across.
Count instant plus land.
Now here's Kalidas. So, there's also, I believe, a sorcery in the graveyard.
Yeah, Serum
now.
Vision.
Yep. Well, Tariq, you're underneath some pressure now. So it's time to actually get some work done here, I think. Otherwise, this game is going to be over for the Yankees fan.
So leftovers are Surgical Extraction, which doesn't really do anything here, though it is a way to get the second copy on the Pyromancer's Ascension. I believe a Lightning Bolt in hand that can kill some stuff, but not all of it. A Crackling Drake that Patel cannot spend his turn casting.
That strikes me as a real lack of a cantrip right now, perhaps.
And Thing in the Ice is the other one.
Yeah,
Another
that's
card
not
that he
great.
can't spend his turn casting because of the Fatal Push he knows about.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the powerful enchantment in question in Pyromancer Ascension. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that has the same name as a card in your graveyard, you may put a quest counter on Pyromancer Ascension. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell while Pyromancer Ascension has 2 or more quest counters on it, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Thing in the Ice has just been cast. But this take on Izzet Phoenix that Tariq is playing is very much a Pyromancer's Ascension deck this weekend.
Interested to see if Patel wants to use the Lightning Bolt on the Dark Confidant, the copy of Lightning Bolt doesn't go anywhere. Can't kill the Tarmogoyf, nor can it kill Cletus. If you let Orr go to his turn with the Dark Confidant, however, then you risk him finding something like Maelstrom Pulse or Assassin's Trophy to kill the Pyromancer's Ascension, and then you really have nothing going on.
This is interesting. I think he's saying, I'm going to Surgical Extraction, that one in the graveyard, but I want you to keep the ones that are in your deck.
Yeah, fail to find. It's still not public information. You're allowed to do that.
Because I want you to draw lands. I do not want to decrease the number of lands you have in your deck, which means it would increase your spell density.
So, or still working with that Fatal Push. He can answer to the Thing in the Ice. And the Lightning Bolt here, even with Patel having a turn on Pyromancer's Ascension, only answers one threat. Now he has the option of killing stuff that he couldn't kill before, but he can't kill 2 things. Actually, no. Is there a land in the graveyard now?
I do not believe so.
In that case, the Bolt can take care of the Confidant and the Tarmogoyf.
So I think, yeah. So you want to make it so that whichever one resolves first kills Tarmogoyf first,
Right.
and then Dark Confidant.
Yeah, you can't put the Confidant in the graveyard. That gets the Goyf up to a 3/4. So you got to order it.
And Tariq is explaining that right now. There you go.
Yeah, I just assumed there had to be a land somewhere in Patel's graveyard, but that is not the case.
All right, well, he's done a nice job of kind of clearing things up here, I would say. Time for the push, maybe? Going to start with a Thoughtseize, actually.
Thoughtseize is not bad here either. It's the last card in Patel's hand is that Crackling Drake.
Now there's the push. And then play a land. Play a Dark Confidant. There's an attack for 3 with a zombie token on the way from Kalidas.
Just needs Patel to brick here, but if he draws a cantrip, he can start chaining together a lot of stuff with that active Pyromancer's Ascension.
Yeah, it's bad news if Tariq draws some sort of cantrip. If it's just a land, obviously you're okay. Feet in the ice, that's a miss.
That's fine.
Yep.
From Orr's perspective, that's fine.
Yep.
You want to avoid a spell there. That's the big one.
Well,
I think
reveal. Well, that should be game over there.
Well, the Hissing Quagmire is game over. You go wide.
Oh, sure. The Quagmire being down there also gets the job done. Absolutely. So, Jonathan Orr is going to win game number 1 here over Tariq Patel. Golgari mid-range up a game here over Is It Phoenix. It wasn't too slow, but it wasn't too fast either.
Well, the discard was good. The removal spell was good.
Yep.
The creatures were all good.
Yep.
And usually, game 1 for decks like Golgari mid-range, if your cards are all actually online and doing stuff, that's a pretty good sign. I mean, you joke around about wanting to draw the right half of the deck. If the whole deck is live, usually the deck's overall efficiency and versatility will take over.
Well, let's go to the sideboards here. We'll start with Tariq, who's got 2 Flame Slash, 2 Blood Moon, 2 Ravenous Trap, 2 Beacon Bolt, 2 Abrade, 2 Spell Pierce, an Anger of the Gods, a Dispel, and a Shatterstorm.
So the card that really stands out to me here is Beacon Bolt. Or is playing with a lot of sort of mid-rangey threats, many of which are outside of Lightning Bolt range. Beacon Bolt seems great for sort of controlling the game on that front. Past that, I could be talked into the Flame Slashes. They're not horrible in this kind of matchup. You could have a Braid as a mixture of creature removal and respect for potential sideboarded artifacts, but I think the Beacon Bolt's the best thing going on here.
For Jonathan Orr, 3 Fulminator Mage, 2 Collective Brutality, 2 Nihil Spellbomb, 2 Surgical Extraction, Damnation Damping Sphere, Engineer Explosives, Grafdigger's Cage, Kitchen Finks, and a Nissa Vital Force.
I think you'll see the 2 copies of Surgical Extraction come in here. I don't mind the Nihil Spellbombs also, especially once you've seen Pyromancer's Ascension. Whereas sideboard, I could kind of take it or leave it. I don't mind the Finks, I suppose.
Your arch rival.
My arch rival.
Never beaten it before.
You have a lot of ways to answer Thing in the Ice, and then if, Patel is trying to manage it through removal, Kitchen Finks is pretty good there. What's up?
Brad Nelson just said Golgari mid-range is playing for 9-0 at SCGPhilly on camera right now. I guess my testing for Mythic Championship London has concluded.
But what are we talking about here? You already know all the numbers in the deck list.
Yeah.
You already had this deck list, Brad.
Brad, you probably already played this deck
3
in a
Inquisition, 3 Thoughtseize, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, a random collection of green and black dual lands, some fetches, whatever creature lands you think are appropriate. 2 Treetop Village, 2 Hissing Quagmire. You wanted to cut a Treetop Village for a spawning pool. I wouldn't ask any questions. There's no mystery here. You already had the list.
Well, these players are going to be playing game number 2 here in just a moment. Jonathan Orr up a game over Tariq Patel. So Tariq will be on the play here for game number 2. In the meantime, let's talk about Coup de Pas, which is the playmat here. A newest member to the Star City Games Creature Collection, an exclusive playmat available at participating stores for the War of the Spark pre-release. That'll be taking place April 27th and the 28th. Stores I've already registered for this, so now you need to register and find a store near you at go.starcitygames.com/pre-release to get this awesome playmat at the War of the Spark pre-release. A pre-release where apparently there are going to be 36 Planeswalkers hanging out. Is it 36, I think?
That's what I heard.
36 is the number, not 32. I think it's 36. That's a lot of those.
36 would make sense. It's the number of packs in a box.
I guess that makes some sense, maybe.
And if you're doing 1 per pack, not that obviously it's not guaranteed, but if you're going to pick a number that's around there, you might as well pick the number of packs in the box.
Fair enough. Tariq Patel down a game, but has won just about every game he's played so far this weekend in Philadelphia. The 27-year-old from Toronto, Ontario, played 8 opens last year, only top 8'd 1 this year, though. He's doing pretty darn well. He's got 4 open top 8s on the whole with 1 invitational top 8 as well. StarCraft 2 Grandmaster, used to be a pro for Complexity Gaming. I had no idea. I'm learning more every single day.
Do you know what Complexity Gaming is?
I do.
What is it?
It's an esports team.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, they're making their way into Magic now, too, so you might want to hang up that wand over there at Direwolf. Dive back into Magic Arena, brother. Be an esports gamer.
You can find me. This is my esports. This is how I play. For the record, no one's told me what makes something an esport. That's a word that gets thrown around. No one has told me what it means yet. This is my esports contribution. If you log on to Magic Online between the hours of 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Mountain Time and want to play some standard or modern, occasionally legacy, and right now, it's every time I get paired, it's against the same 4 people. It's just the same. It's just the same half dozen of us hanging out these games. I know what deck I'm playing against just on the username. Anyhow, you want to hop in? I have considered streaming a Burn Orbit. I think that'll be my first stream.
Okay. 1 Burn Orbit for everyone to see.
Do a Burn Orbit. I'll tell. We've mentioned this. I'll tell you what this is. I load up a competitive queue of Burn in Standard, Burn in Modern, Burn in Legacy, and you play a match of Standard, then a match of Modern, then a match of Legacy, and you rotate through until you've played all 5 rounds of all 3 leagues. It's a Burn Orbit. Not a spoiler alert, I go a combined 10 and 5 each time. The formats are sort of different, like which one's the 3 and 2 and which one's the, whatever. But that'll be my foray into esports.
I like that it shakes out to my Grand Prix record every time. You go 10 and 5 throughout the orbit.
Right. It's the same thing.
It's perfect.
Except when you go 10 and 5 in Magic Online, they pay you out. You actually get a couple treasure chests for that.
I get nothing at the Grand Prix. Tariq with just a couple lands to start. It's a Nile Spellbomb and a Dark Confidant for Jonathan Orr. This is a Thought Scour. Thing in the Ice. Faithless Looting to the graveyard. Tariq have any other end of turn effects? It looks like the answer is yes, and an opt. Time to scry 1.
So, I'm actually not kidding. What makes something an esport instead of just a game that gets played online?
I don't really have a good answer for you, unfortunately.
Okay.
Our friends at Wikipedia might be able to tell us. Perhaps our friends on Twitter could tell us. But I don't have a great answer for you. I did learn that the E is always lowercase.
Yeah.
I think E just kind of means online.
Well, Magic on...
I believe it stands for electronic. It's an electronic sport.
Right, but Magic Online wasn't an e-sport, right? It was just a game people played. And then suddenly there was an announcement from Wizards of the Coast that Magic is now an e-sport. It's like, okay, cool, I guess. Can someone tell me what that means? No one has done it yet. They changed their official Twitter account to Magic Esports. Okay, cool. So you're an e-sport now. Can please someone tell me what that means? It's like, keep looking for a concrete definition of what causes this differentiation. And I've yet to find it.
It's an electronic sport.
It means that the people competing are wearing jerseys. Yeah. That's all that it means.
Scavenging Ooze is here.
Well, assuming we're going to eat up that Beacon Bolt.
Yeah, that Beacon Bolt's gone. Long gone as we head back over to Tariq.
Good old Scavenging Ooze.
Still good after all these years.
Fighting the good fight.
Yep.
Hoping to untap. Even if it untaps, probably not that great. Yeah. But it's still, it's still fighting the good fight.
It's just annoying enough.
It's just trying to, it's trying to just live its life. Ideally, I like to eat a creature, but anything that's in the graveyard that matters while it's in the graveyard, that's fine too.
Not too picky.
Yeah, I'll take it all.
Flooded Strand will be sacrificed here. Tariq going to fall down to 18, get a basic island. Here's Crackling Drake. Now this is a way to kind of bypass everything that Jonathan is doing. Now, Jonathan does have a Fatal Push. And
a Maelstrom Pulse.
Yes, your favorites. Assassin's Trophy, Liliana of the Veil.
Yeah, well, the Revolt's easy. You got the Spell Bomb. Yeah, Revolt's easy.
Yeah, nobody said it was hard. I think it's a pretty easy threat to answer, but it is the kind of threat that needs to be answered somewhat quickly. There's no answer yet. There's Cletus. Pass the turn back. Tariq will draw. Right now, Crackling Drake is a 4-power flyer.
It really worries me when you, of all people, cannot tell me what esports means.
What are you implying?
That you're usually, you're kind of in the weeds on this stuff. You're usually fairly knowledgeable about recent sort of like marketing, copy, and the language that gets used. You're very particular on the website of people using the right templates and the right branded words and such. Are you seriously just Googling esports right now?
I'm not going to say if I am or am not doing that. Here is a Thing in the Ice into a Manamorphose. I'm doing what you would do.
It's just the headline. Extremely popular esports personality Googles what's an esport. While actually we're doing an esport right now, or are we not? It's still not been made clear to me.
Esports, also known as electronic sports.
Thanks. Email, also known as electronic mail. Keep going. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No problem. E-sports, or lowercase e capital S sports.
Yeah.
Is a form of competition using video games.
So it could be templated either as email or eBay.
Yes.
Both play?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Keep going.
Most commonly, esports takes the form of organized multiplayer video game competitions, particularly between professional players, individuals, or as teams.
Okay, so not applicable here. Keep going.
That's all I have right now from my friends on Wikipedia.
Great. Okay.
Faithless looting now for Tariq Patel. I hope that was educational and informative. Now Arclight Phoenix is back. Or not. Nile Spellbound will take care of that. All right, Crackling Drake, how big are ya? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The answer is 7. And getcha. So a pretty healthy hit there from the flyer. It does not look like... Well, actually, Tariq had not played a land yet that turn. That's true. So that means he can transform Thing of the Ice still if he'd like to, which is pretty darn nice.
Yep. And sort of, it's an insurance policy. If you kill Thing in the Ice, then, you transform response, get a little bit of money there. And if Or tries to go after the Crackling Drake, you can also pick everything up.
Yeah, I like Tariq not getting overly aggressive there. Cletus and Scavenging Ooze are going to come into the red zone. And it looks like Thing in the Ice is going to block the Scavenging Ooze. 3 damage will come through. Tariq will fall down to 15. Jonathan Orr will go up to 13. Orr will play a Hissing Quagmire and now follow up with a Tarmogoyf. And simply pass the turn back. So Tariq will untap.
And Orr can keep playing this game and can just pull the reset button at a moment's notice should Orr threaten something too big of a battlefield or a removal spell.
Yeah, Tariq is in the driver's seat now. If Thing in the Ice didn't die last turn, then you have to be feeling really good about where this game is at. There's another copy of Thing in the Ice.
Come on up to the main event stage and we will get you registered.
Time to attack for a bunch in the air.
I mean, with Patel set up here, he doesn't even have to worry about something like a damnation or whatever. He's totally covered.
Crackling Drake's going to knock Jonathan Orr down to 6. And Patel will pass the turn back with at least one Lightning Bolt in hand along with a copy of Manamorphose. Swamp is the land for the turn.
We're about to wind up the quagmire? Oh, boy.
Play one away.
I don't know if that's what you want to do with 4 mana right here.
And Tariq looks like he's going to fire off a Lightning Bolt here in just a moment. Might lead with Manamorphose instead. Either way, it appears as though there's a spell to be played.
Yeah, I like leading off with Manamorphose here because then if Orr has some weird response, you can bolt the Ooze in response, make sure that isn't available to be played on defense, and win the game with the Awoken Horror.
Tariq Patel is going to win game number 2 here against Jonathan Orr. Is it Phoenix Golgari midrange getting ready for a third and final one as Orr just didn't have nearly as much interaction as he had in the first game.
Well, part of the problem there was it was just Crackling Drake. You know, Orr was equipped with a lot of anti-graveyard measures, was able to handle Arclight Phoenix just fine. But the anti-graveyard measure is not good against Crackling Drake. It's a lot of the reason that card shows up in the deck. And Orr without a removal spell for it, and that basically carried the day.
Well, these players are going to get ready for a third and final. Remember, we've got another match to bring you after this between Dylan Donegan and Matthew Dilks. The winner of that one will be 9-0, just like the winner of this one will be 9-0. And those players will be at the top of the standings and likely playing against each other to kick off day number 2 of competition tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. East Coast time here from the Valley Forge Casino and Resort in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. For now, we turn our attention to our friends with Commander Versus. That is, of course, Jeremy Knoll, Justin Parnell, Jonathan Suarez, and the American Dream, Stephen Green, who is apparently a really big Eagles fan.
Yes, he is.
For reasons I quite don't understand.
Well, I mean, he grew up in North Carolina. I'm guessing for his childhood, the Carolina Panthers weren't a team. Didn't have them to root for. And Stephen Green seems like could easily be motivated by, what's the most spiteful team I could root for? And the Eagles are a fine answer.
Right near the top of the list.
Fine answer.
Well, if you want to watch those gentlemen in action, of course you can do it on the Star City Games YouTube page, but if you want to watch it live every Wednesday, 5 p.m. East Coast time at twitch.tv/SCG Tours, where Suarez, Parnell, Knoll, and Stephen Green are doing their thing on Commander Versus. Looks like Calcano just finished up his match.
Yo, I know we've been running some ads, but talk to me about these autographed Ultra Pro sleeves.
Okay, first of all, they're Ultimate Guard.
Ultimate Guard, excuse me.
That's okay. That's okay.
Sorry, we'll just power through that. Power through that. Ultimate Guard. Signed Ultimate Guard sleeves. Talk to me about this. Help me out here. Basically,
you help me. You help me
basically,
out here.
Basically, what I'm asking for is, how do I go about buying a case of the Paul Rietzels? Or do I, if I buy a case, is it like one Andrew Cuneo, one John Finkel? Like, how does the distribution work?
Well, Patrick, they are not available for purchase yet. They're coming soon.
Okay.
This is a product that is coming soon.
Okay.
And I believe we actually have a commercial for this product.
Can I pre-order a case of the Paul Rietzels?
You might be able to very soon when they're available.
Okay.
From our friends at Ultimate Guard.
Yeah, you got it. Yo, I love you, Ultimate Guards. My bad.
That's good save.
Yeah.
Good save. You're really tying the room together.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't want to say these things are related. They're not. But I never got one of those Ammonite backpacks. I thought there was an understanding. We never signed anything. It was never formally agreed upon. But my understanding was that we had sorted that out, and yet no backpack, and I need a new backpack.
There's never been some sort of verbally binding agreement that.
No, and I never said there was. I'm not insinuating that at all. What I'm saying is I thought there was an understanding, and if there's some confusion, I would like that clarified because I believe that we had that sorted out.
And really, no better time than the present.
Right.
in between game 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Of our 8-0 match.
Well, match. All right, let's go back to the sideboard. I think he probably kept the Nile spell bombs. Great. Where's my backpack? Where's my backpack? Or's taking them all again. Where's my backpack?
I think it's in the mail.
Because I try to keep up on things on social media. I don't travel to a lot of tournaments anymore. You still go to Grand Prix here and there. And I tell you, man, when I see these photos of you saying congratulations to X, Y, and Z person for winning the backpack, for doing what they do, I think to myself, that's my backpack. That person's got my backpack, and I could tweet that at Cedric, and I could let that person know that they actually have stolen property, but I'm going to let it go because, I'm not trying to escalate it like that. But I do want to know where my backpack is.
We're working on that. We're working on getting one just for you.
Okay.
Just for you. That's all. It's coming soon. We'll make a big show of it and everything during a broadcast. I'll hand deliver it to you, and you can demo all the features of the Ultimate Guard Ammonite anti-theft backpack. Yeah. That's what we could do.
Yeah, no, and even the slip up isn't that bad. It's like Ultra Pro? No, they don't make anything that cool. It's Ultimate Guard. Those are the cool sleeves.
And the nice thing is we've got a commercial for this because Tariq has decided to pile shuffle the deck again for reasons I don't quite understand. So how about a commercial for everybody? So you were talking about that backpack.
Yeah.
You want one of those.
With a case of the Rietzels inside.
Okay, so just a special delivery.
Right.
Okay. See what we can do for you.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to work on that. Both players, I believe, on a mold to 6. All right, we're underway. Game 3 to see who's going to be 9-0.
And there's the Treetop Village.
Yes, everybody's favorite. It's a creature. Two of them.
Back to back.
One of them promotional. One of them old school.
Hope you got some bolts. They are going to be taxed this game.
Is it creature type monkey?
No, it's not.
Is it creature type village?
That doesn't sound right. Let me think on that for a minute. Because they do have creature types. Like Fairy Conclave makes a fairy. I'll go with cat.
Cat?
I think I'll go with cat. Ape. Okay.
All right, monkey was pretty close.
Yeah, you were closer than me. Because I thought for some reason I recall the art on the Legacy one sort of looking a little bit like there were Miri Cat Warrior kind of style creatures in the art, but
no, never thought that. Scavenging Ooze, no black mana here for Jonathan Orr.
It's just a lighting fast start.
Bolt will take care of the Ooze, taxing the bolts.
Yes.
Looks like Flame Slash may have been the draw. Doesn't look like either player is off to a great start this game.
This is some foam sword action.
Oh. For the cantrip deck to do no cantripping is a little strange. Another Ooze. Let's go back over to Tariq, who's picked up a Flooded Strand.
So there is the option to just hard cast the Arclight Phoenix here, but I'm not a huge fan of risking a removal spell and then getting the Phoenix eaten. If you have a removal spell to play, I think I'd prefer just to do that. Take your time.
I don't think there's much of a rush here.
You can open on firing off the Manamorphose here. I don't mind that. That gives you some abilities to spike a big draw if you've hit Faithless Looting right here. And if nothing like that happens, now you have a second spell in your graveyard, so the Beacon Bolt just takes care of the Scavenging Ooze.
Well, guess who drew a Faithless Looting?
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's great then.
Pretty good Magic
The
card.
floor is really high there. If you don't draw anything of note, then whatever, you just kind of move on. And if you draw a Faithless Looting, it might open up a huge turn. And Patel, fortunately, found a Faithless Looting, it would appear.
Arclight Phoenix and Flooded Strand headed to the graveyard. Two spells played so far this turn in Manamorphose and Faithless Looting. Now here's another Manamorphose. Blue and red again. We'll see what comes next here for Tariq, assuming there is something coming next. It's already been a pretty good turn.
Yeah, I think there's some desire. You know, it's not the worst to cash in the bowl here if you fear something like now, Spellbomb, making it bad down the road. But it's also the most mana efficient thing. But also it's a removal spell that kind of handles everything. You may want to clutch that.
All right, Arclight Phoenix is back. Surgical? Yeah.
Sure.
All right. This was obviously kind of a concern.
Yeah, but, I mean, again, it's whatever. There's not a whole lot to be done about it. Now, the bad news for Patel is the leftover in his hand are just reactive. And with Ore missing land drops, missing a color of mana, you'd really like to get on the front foot here. Having a hand of just 3 removal spells gives Ore a lot of opportunities to, first of all, it's time to draw out of it. And second, if there's any discard left in Ore's deck, it's going to be live for a long time. Plenty of cards in Patel's hand that he can't play for a while. Well, this is all predicated, though, on Ore finding black mana, which he's not been able to do so far.
Manamorphose, Flame Slash, Beacon Bolt, Scalding Tarn is the hand there for Tariq Patel. As we head back Jonathan Ore's way, who has not found black mana yet. He just plays a Grafdigger's Cage.
It's actually not bad for Ore in the spot because Faithless Looting could smooth out Patel's hand and find him a threat. Patel might just kind of run out of things to do for a while. He's out of Arclight Phoenixes, and he's down to 8 threat cards in the deck.
Yeah, roughly.
And a lot of his cards don't really do anything. They're removal spells with nothing to target, or cantrips that find other cantrips.
Manamorphose has found another cantrip here in Serum Visions. Draw 1, scry 2.
No, I'm not a huge fan of Grafdigger's Cage in this matchup generally, but this is a great spot for it because Patel, there's pressure on him to find something to do that's proactive, and that Faithless Looting was a huge part of that.
Another Scavenging Ooze.
Boom. Just so many oozes. How many of those? 3. All right, it's out of them. It's the last ooze. Checking the board for the 4th one. Not here.
Classic 3 ooze configuration.
Yeah. So the 4th one's not very good, as opposed to the first 3.
Lightning Bolt will take care of the ooze.
There it is. Sort of.
Well, it's a black source of mana. Field of Ruin's going to get activated right away. It'll take care of a Steam Vents. Go get a basic Swamp. And now there's a discard spell, an Inquisition of Kozilek. Flame Slash Beacon Bolt.
And I mean, if you take the Beacon Bolt here, then I guess with the Grafdigger's Cage, I would have preferred.
I would prefer to take the Bolt there.
I think so.
A land is the draw there for Tariq. Just going to pass the turn back. Crazy how frustrating this Grafdigger's Cage actually is right now.
Yes! There it is.
Treetop. Treetop, bebop.
Creature dash ape.
Another Beacon Bolt. Yep.
This is the most green-black win possible. Never play a single good card, miss land drops the whole game, and eventually win by tapping out for attacking with Treetop Village for 7 turns against an opponent who's largely disabled here in the way that, like what does he have left over to do here?
Yeah, not a ton.
Not a ton.
Metamorphose draws.
And you know what Orr's got?
What's that?
Assassin's Trophy that answers anything. There's nothing you can play that I can't answer.
In case anything goes wrong.
I got to ease up on the village, maybe. Just, again, don't.
Tarmogoyf. Pretty sure that's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 for Beacon Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dead.
Would have preferred to get that one out of there, I believe, when he had the opportunity.
Start with an opt. Opt is yielded to Lava Axe. And now here's Beacon Bolt. We're going back over to Jonathan Orr now. Another Goyf. Tariq in some real trouble right now.
Yep. Not a whole lot of cards left in his deck that are particularly good. And missing land drops for the whole game like he has, you have to assume he's got at least a couple removal spells at the ready.
All right, Goyf down via Lightning Axe. There's Pyromancer Ascension. There's Pulse.
There's the one pulse.
Boop. Back over to Tariq. Another Ascension. Should have waited.
Second.
Trophy.
Oh, trophy.
Trophy.
Excuse me. Sorry.
You got a little excited.
Second pulse out of the board. No.
Might be no basics left.
Yeah, I mean, he's been hit with Field of Ruin. The game's gone on for a million turns. This is such a green-black win. You couldn't dial it up any better than this.
Well, here's Liliana. Minusing to get back Tarmogoyfs. Grind you down.
And soon the oozes.
There's Beacon Bolt. Sure. Get that back later. Liliana coming at you from 2 Liliana angles now. Plus to discard. Plus play Dark Confidant. Say go. Well, here's a Faithless Looting.
But remember, no flashback here.
Yep. Crackling Drake. Land.
Ooh, that Crackling Drake, though, just an edict for the Liliana.
That's right.
That's just a button I get to hit.
There is Crackling Drake. Draw a card. Sulfur Falls and Thing in the Ice. Let's trigger the Dark Confidant. Assassin's Trophy. Problem solved.
Green-black.
Chess. Black-green cards I own.
Yeah, this is great. A great way to end the day.
Trophy that.
Fire up the village. Fire up the village.
You know it.
Bang.
Yep. In for 5. Patel down to 7. I don't think there's any way Patel can win the game.
His start was turn 1 Treetop Village, turn 2 Treetop Village, turn 3 Ooze, no land.
Yeah, that's true.
That was his start.
That's true. Would not have been my pick to win this game. That's for sure. But Jonathan Orr is no stranger to victory here on the SCG Tour with already an open title on the resume. And it looks like a 9-0 coming as well here in Philadelphia. As Liliana's going to go up. They'll be responsible lightning bolt.
Turn on the other village.
There's Field of Ruin. Is there enough green mana for the villages?
I don't think so.
A little short. Gonna knock Tariq down to 2. Another Dark Confidant pass the turn back. Tariq will draw. And that's a Serum Visions. Scry 2. One on top, one on the bottom. Some sort of cantrip here. Another Serum Visions. Doing his best Kevin Jones impersonation now. Cantripping away, but not getting anywhere meaningful. Jonathan Orr going to win this game and match here over Tariq Patel, 2 games to 1. Golgari mid-range takes care of Is It Phoenix, and for Jonathan Orr,